What is going on, Cardano Nation? Welcome back to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. I'm your host here, Fareed, and in today's video, we've got two major announcements surrounding the Cardano ecosystem. As a part of today's video, first things first, we're going to talk about the Cardano price versus Ethereum and Bitcoin when it comes to this past year. We're also going to talk about the rise of stablecoins all throughout the blockchain and crypto space. Now, after that, I've got the first big breaking announcement, which is surrounding Cardano TVL and the fact that within the ADA valuation, we now have broken an all-time high, surpassing the ADA valuation as a part of March of 2022. The third and final update is going to be surrounding Aneta BTC, which I briefly covered as a part of my second to last Cardano Scoop update, which, if you guys are not familiar with, is going to be a platform bringing wrapped Bitcoin to Cardano. That said, they've now minted the first ever piece of wrapped Bitcoin on the Cardano network. So this is going to have huge implications, not only for Cardano, but for additional ecosystems, including Ergo, which will also be seeing the launch of Aneta BTC. Now, before we jump into today's amazing content, if it's your first time stopping by the channel, I aim to provide you guys in the Cardano community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews for the top builders in Cardano. I'm also a single stake pool operator, and if you'd like to support my mission to educate the broader Cardano community, then consider delegating with the official Dapp Central Stake Pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Thank you very much, and without taking up any more time, let's jump into our very first topic for today, which is going to be the Cardano price action as a part of this existing year. So as you guys can see here, this is going to be from Cardano Daily, and this is going to be comparing the price action performance of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano since the month of January. As you guys can see there on the left-hand side, at the very beginning of this month, we had a huge uptick in terms of price action, in which we saw the Bitcoin price shoot up from about $16,000 all the way until about $24,000. This equates to a 34% increase since the month of January. Similarly, we saw the price of Ethereum kind of follow. However, we didn't have as big of a pump with a year-to-date price value increase of 30.67%. And then coming in last, we've got the Cardano price, which has been trending up as well, right? Kind of following suit when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum with a price increase of 34%. So it seems like Cardano is trading a little bit more closely when it comes to its appreciation towards Bitcoin, with Ethereum just slightly lagging behind. The next update I want to cover as a part of today's Cardano Scoop update is the fact that we've now got additional protocols within the crypto space when it comes to stablecoins. First things first, we're going to notice that we've got Jet at the top left-hand side, which is released by Cody, which also has the Shen reserve token going along with it. Now, this was minted on Cardano's mainnet on January 31st of this year. That said, we've got more than $11 million currently locked in terms of total value locked. And then on the top right-hand side, we've got the Indigo protocol, which has recently released IUSD. Now, IUSD came on the market in November of 2022. That said, the entire protocol, which includes IUSD, IBTC, and IETH, now makes for more than $17 million US in terms of total value locked. Now, in terms of competitors here, we've got MakerDAO, which is going to be a stablecoin platform on Ethereum. We've also got Just Stable, which I believe is from the Tron network. We've got Liquidity, Abracadabra, Helio Protocol, and a few others which are listed down below. Now, I do want to take a minute to highlight the fact that we will be having a third stablecoin coming to Cardano. This is going to be the USDA stablecoin being released by Emergo. Now, this is going to differ slightly from what we already have with IUSD, which is going to be a synthetic asset, which gives you price exposure to an asset that it's pegged to. And then it's going to be different than JED, which is going to be a over-collateralized stablecoin, which is basically a stablecoin that has an algorithm to make sure that it's always redeemable for the accurate value. So the way that USDA is going to work is it's going to be backed by US dollars, and it's going to be a one-to-one representation or a one-to-one backing. So however much of the USDA token actually exists on Cardano will be backed by real actual physical cash. Now, this is going to be a lot simpler to manage and understand for the general community, and that's actually one of the main reasons as to why I'm excited to get this particular stablecoin on the network. That said, we did hear from Emurgo, which is going to be one of the foundations driving the Cardano network, that this should be released as a part of Q1 of 2023. We are close to the end of this quarter, and we haven't actually had a specific release date just yet, but I will be keeping my ears pinned to the ground. And as soon as we've got an additional update, I'll make sure to report back over to you guys. Now, if you want to go ahead and actually get access to this Anzens platform, which will allow for you to mint USDA, you can actually go ahead and navigate to anzens.com, and you can click on this join the waitlist option. Some of the benefits of USDA include the fact that it's going to be backed 1-to-1, which, as I mentioned before, one USDA token will equal $1 single. It's also going to be fueled by Cardano, leveraging its security, low fees, and eco-friendly ecosystem. And thirdly, it's going to be compliant, and USDA is going to be built to stand the test of time. That said, let me know what you guys think down in the description, or down in the comment section, below. Which platform are you looking forward to using most? Will it be JED? Will it be IUSD? Or will it be the USDA token, which we are expecting to have very, very soon? The next thing I want to talk about is going to be the fact that we now have an all-time high when it comes to Cardano TVL. So if I jump over into DeFi Llama, as you guys will notice here, we now have a total TVL value of 334 million ADA on the network. This now surpasses the 324 million all-time high that we saw as a part of the March and April timeline of 2022. We also now see that the MinSwap protocol has regained some of its prior dominance, and that has now shot up from about 32% to about 35%. They now currently hold over more than 40 million US dollars on the protocol. And so this is extremely bullish. And I think this goes to show that even though Cardano is quite young, that it is continuing to grow, and that more and more people are beginning to deposit their ADA and lock it up as a part of the growing DeFi ecosystem. Right behind MinSwap, we've got Indigo, which I just mentioned, with $17 million locked, followed by Wing Riders. And these two protocols have actually been battling quite heavily for the second spot when it comes to TVL on Cardano. Right below them, we've got JED, which, as I mentioned before, has about $11 million locked, followed by MuesliSwap, SundaySwap, Liquid, and Optum Finance. Now, you guys will notice that the top leaders here in terms of TVL are DEXs, or decentralized exchanges, but we have additional DeFi protocols coming online, which include the recent launch of Liquid. We've also got Meld on the testnet, and Paribus, which will be launching very, very soon, and they should be migrating to Cardano very, very soon as well. Now, how does this current market right here within Cardano compare to other blockchains, such as Ethereum, right, which you'll notice here is not anywhere near making an all-time high. Its current TVL in terms of Ethereum is currently sitting at about $18 million, whereas their all-time high was somewhere around $30 million. So they've got about a 2x to go until they're even close to making an all-time high. In terms of Solana, they're in an even worse position right now, where they currently have about $12 million locked. In terms of Solana, where their all-time high was somewhere around 70 million. If we take a look at Avalanche, they're currently sitting at about a 59 million TVL, with their all-time high being anywhere around 160 to 170 million in terms of TVL locked on the network. So Cardano showing signs of strength, while additional protocols are just kind of stagnating or lagging a little bit behind. Now, this doesn't mean that this can't change in the future. That said, I do want to highlight here that TVL is a pretty simple metric, and that we shouldn't necessarily count this as the end all be all. I do think that we will continue to see this grow, especially as we get USDA, which comes online hopefully very, very soon. But I'm interested to see exactly what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think that TVL is an important metric for us to be tracking, or is it something that is more or less just for show, right? I've mentioned this in a prior interview that I just had on the NGMI podcast with Jay Crypto, as well as Subcritical, that we have seen TVL be spoofed on other blockchains. So I don't want to put too much weight on this particular metric, but it is something that I've been tracking for quite a bit of time. And I just thought that it would be fair to bring it up as a part of this update. Now, the very last story is going to be another major announcement when it comes to Cardano's development. This is going to be another asset that I think will have the ability to bring millions of dollars in terms of TVL into the network. So this is going to be the fact that we now have successfully minted CBTC, which is going to be a wrapped version of Bitcoin on Cardano. This is going to be done by the Aneta BTC protocol. As it reads here from the official Aneta BTC Twitter, we're excited to announce we've successfully minted CBTC on Cardano. If you don't know what CBTC is, this is going to be a wrapped version of Bitcoin being passed out on Cardano. Now, the way that this is going to work is through a bridging mechanism that will allow a user to connect their Bitcoin wallet, right, and basically lock up their assets on Bitcoin. And then after that, they're going to be able to mint using the Aneta BTC platform an equivalent amount of the CBTC token representing the amount that they locked up on Aneta BTC on the Cardano network. Now, once they're able to spend that, or once they're able to utilize that CBTC on the network, and if they want to bring that back over to the Bitcoin network, they'll be able to basically go through the same exact bridging process in reverse, where they lock up the CBTC, and then they can then regain or unlock their original BTC that was minted on the network. Now, they did also release the fact that this was minted on the pre-prod testnet. So keep in mind, this is not on the mainnet just yet. And we are expecting the Aneta BTC testnet to be live very, very soon as a part of the month of March. So taking a look at the pre-prod transaction, we can see that this was actually minted or passed out on February 23rd of 2023. So CBTC has been in the ecosystem for about 2 or so weeks. Now, if I move over here, what I want to highlight next is going to be the fact that wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum currently has a total value locked of $4.2 billion. So this could be huge for Cardano if this is implemented, in the correct fashion, right? Bringing a lot of the liquidity from the Bitcoin network, which, as you guys watching this probably know, that Bitcoin is going to be the most adopted blockchain, right? Directly into Cardano. So we could see a lot of those funds from Bitcoin holders coming into Cardano to actually be spent directly here in our ecosystem. And so what this is showing is that there's 175,000 of the wrapped Bitcoins currently on Ethereum. And so as a simple example, if we were to only gain about 10% of the TVL currently locked into the wrapped asset on Ethereum coming into Cardano, that would be about $400 million coming into the ecosystem, specifically based off of that single token. So hopefully that shows you guys the potential that we could have here when it comes to the adoption of wrapped Bitcoin on the Cardano network. Now, if I jump over here, this is going to be the official website for WBTC, which is the wrapped Bitcoin version on Ethereum. One thing I want to mention is that on Ethereum, there is a custodian basically managing this asset, whereas with CBTC, which will be on Cardano, this should be trustless or non-custodial. So that's going to be an additional benefit to getting CBTC on the Cardano network. That is going to do it for today's update, in which we talked about the current price when it comes to this particular year for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. We also briefly touched on the rise of stablecoins within the blockchain and crypto ecosystem. After that, we talked about Cardano's TVL in comparison to some of the other top blockchains in the network or in the ecosystem. And then we just closed out by highlighting the fact that we now have the first ever wrapped Bitcoin on the Cardano pre-prod network. That said, if you guys found any of this content to be helpful or useful, please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time stumbling by the channel and you appreciate this content and you're looking for more, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me about any of the topics that we talked about as a part of today's video, or just about Cardano in general, then make sure to leave a comment down below. That said, I will see you guys in the next video.